Welcome to microeconomics class. In this class, we'll be solving this question on market structure, particularly on monopoly. The question goes thus: a monopolist total revenue is given as TR equals 30Q minus Q squared. Its total cost is TC equals Q squared plus 10Q plus 10. So we are asked to answer these questions. So what is the monopolist profit maximizing level of output? That is A. B. Determine the profit at this level. So let's solve this question. Let me show you how to solve this question. So here is the solution. So we are going to solve it step by step. So wherever you see a question like this, so the first thing is to recall the first thing is to state the profit maximization rule. Profit, profit maximization rule, maximization rule. So what does it say? Say that at maximum profit, MR is equal to MC. That is, a firm maximizes profit when MR is equal to MC. That's when marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Now, also recall we are given our T half. We have T half here, which is equal to 30Q minus Q squared. And we also have our TC, which we are given as Q squared plus 10Q plus 10. If you look at this rule, the rule says we should equate MR to MC. And we know from TR we can derive our MR. How do we derive our MR from TR? Don't forget, MR is the first derivative of TR. That's marginal revenue function is the first derivative of total revenue function. And likewise, we can derive marginal cost, that is MC, from total cost function, which is TC. Here is the function, is simply the first derivative of TC. In other words, marginal cost function is the first derivative of total cost function, which we have here. Now, let's derive our marginal revenue function from total revenue function. So, marginal revenue will be equals to the TR dq. This is the first derivative. Then we differentiate this two, so we have 30 minus 2q. This is our marginal revenue. Likewise, you can also derive marginal cost from this total cost function. So marginal cost is equals to the TC over the Q. Okay, now this is equals to, when differentiate this one, so we have 2Q plus 10. This is a constant, we ignore it. So this is our marginal revenue, this is our marginal cost. So the next thing is to follow the rule MR equals to MC by equating these two functions. So in other one, we have MC equals MR. What is our MC? So let me follow the rule. Then we have MR. So we call that MR is equal to MC. So what is our MR function? We have 30 minus 2Q equals to MC. This is MC function. We have 2Q plus 10. The next thing to collect the like times. So we have 30. We take this to this side, this plus 10, it comes to this side, we become minus 10. Then we have 2Q. We take this minus 2Q to this side, it becomes 2 plus 2Q. This is 20 equals 4Q. So the next thing to divide both sides by the coefficient of Q, which is 4 here. So therefore we have 20 over 4 equals 4Q over 4. Here, 5, here. So in other words, we have 5 equals to Q. That is Q equals to 5. So 5 units is the profit maximizing level of output that these monopolies will produce. In other words, these monopolies will produce 5 units of output in order to maximize profit. So this is question A. Then question B says we should find the profit. That is very simple. Profit. That is, find the pi. So pi represents our profit here. Don't forget the formula for calculating profit is pi equal pi represent profit, that is profit equals to total revenue minus total cost. Now we are given total revenue function. This is total revenue function, so we are going to put it there, which is equals to 30q minus q squared. Okay, so let's put this in bracket, then minus this minus here, we have total cost function, which is, open the bracket, we have q squared plus 10q plus 10. Now the next thing is to plug in the profit maximizing output unit, which is 5 we got here. So that is, the profit will now be 30, wherever I see q, I plug in 5. We have 5. Okay, so let me use bracket, then we have minus 5 squared. Okay, now then we have minus, let me open a bracket, q squared, which is 5 squared, plus 10 into bracket 5, then plus 10. Then we do this, we simplify this, we have 30 times 5, that is 150. Then we have minus 5 squared, that is 25. Okay, then we have minus this 5 squared is 25 plus 10 times 5, that is 50. Then we have plus 10. Okay, now if you subtract this one, we are going 150 minus 25, that will give us 125. Then we have minus 25 plus 50, that is 75, plus 10, that is 85. Then the answer, 125 minus 85, that will be 75. Okay, this is the profit of the firm at the maximum level of output. This is the profit of the firm at the profit maximizing level of output, which is 75.